Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Honeybee Podcast. I'm your girl, Honey Foreign.
Hey y'all, welcome back. This is your girl REB. You can follow me on Instagram at _REB.
I totally forgot, y'all.
She left me last week and now she forgetting to tell
I know, right? I'm forgetting the regular smegular. Okay, you can follow me on Instagram at honey_foreign. And today we have in the house joining us, we got Britt, aka Honeybee, with Q Understanding, and they ready to show or tell us about some spiritual things, give us some knowledge, hopefully wake us up a little bit. And if y'all already, tiptoeing on the brink of having that third eye open, maybe they could help y'all out. Maybe they could help us out.
Help me out.
So tell them a little bit about yourself, where we can find you guys.
You guys can find me on Facebook at Britt Honeybee Bonham BONAM. Instagram _Lemon Drop Honeybee.
Or that lemon
drop.
Well, first things first, I want to say always make sure you follow your first mind. Like I said, I'm Q Understanding. You can find me at Third Eye Dangerous. That's my Instagram page. Third with a 3 RD Dangerous, no underscores.
Okay.
Dope.
Okay.
I like how he started.
No underscores. I got an underscore in
First
mine.
of all.
Made me feel bad for having an underscore. I'm like, the other ones was taken. The other ones was taken. All right, you guys. So can y'all please give the viewers, because this is your first time being on this podcast. You joined us on another podcast, and you dropped a whole bunch of knowledge. So I know you coming with it today. I know your friend is coming with it today. I know Q coming with it. I could already feel it in my bones.
She's on the lost episode, you guys.
Yeah.
And it was a dope episode.
Definitely.
It was. Like, it was, we had some emotional moments. Everything on that boy.
We talked about a little bit of everything. So can you give the fans out there your best definition of spirituality?
Ooh, that's
a heavy one, ain't
it?
it? I'm sorry. It just came from nowhere. I'm like, let them know.
It's such a broad thing for me personally. So I would just say inner self or higher self, as far as spirituality goes. That is one of the top goals in spirituality. So that's how I would describe it.
Okay. Q, what about you?
I would say spirituality is more like it's based on your diet. A lot of people look at your diet as the food you eat. But I mean, everything that you intake is considered part of your diet, be it what you looking at, even being the type of things you say. So when you're spiritual, and when it comes to spirituality, you got to be careful with the things you say.
Absolutely.
You mess around and say the wrong things and walk something until you walk yourself through a door that you don't want to be in because you talked yourself into that. Certain things you just got to do. You got to go inside. So a lot of people, what they do with certain times in their life, they look for something outside of them to help them cope with what's going on or help them or give them strength. And it's about finding what's inside of you. And that's the main goal of spirituality, finding what's inside of you. And for the most part, when you go inside, the longer you go in, the more you go in, that's where you find God at. So when you connect with that God on the inside, you can exude that God from inside outside. So you go within, and that's what spirituality is really about, going within, not worrying about the without.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's dope.
So, yeah, finger snaps.
Right.
So, when did you guys first start your spiritual journey? What brought you to spiritualism? Like, was it a crystal or an instant? Was it a time going through like a storm? What was it? What was it for y'all?
You want to go first?
Well, for me personally, I just realized that everything that I was being taught, I didn't see it. So when it came to religion, it was like, well, I want to see something real, something that's really going on. And so, me personally, I'm a scientist of sorts, so I always test things. I always do numbers. I'm always doing that type of, math and stuff. So I say, okay, in order for me to see something is real, I have to measure it. So my son's mother, she was, into crystals and stuff like that. So I'm like, I always gravitated toward the amethyst because it was my birthstone. So even as a child.
Your birthday coming up?
It is.
Happy early birthday.
Happy
February
early
17th.
birthday to you.
Thank you.
Aquarius season.
It is.
It is aqua.
So I say, okay, well, if crystals do work and they are real, I should be a way for me to measure them.
Right.
So I knew that was the easiest, cheapest way for me to just be like, all right, is this real or not?
Right.
So because I was moving around a lot by myself and stuff like that, you know, and I still like to drink and party, but I didn't want to be getting too drunk while I'm out by myself. So then I realized when I looked into the amethyst more, I said, oh, this is a healing stone. Not a healing, stones are healing stones, so they're used for different things. So when I looked at the amethyst, I found out it was a sobriety stone. So I said, oh, well, okay, well, let me take it with me and set some intentions for it to keep me sober and see if it works. And that's what I started doing, and lo and behold, I wasn't getting drunk when I had my crystal, my amethyst on me.
Right.
So that right there was like, okay, this is real. And from that point on, I just started gravitating toward all the other different things. So meditating and just a lot of different stuff, man. So that was it. It was crystal therapy for me, honestly.
Okay.
That started you. That's dope.
Yeah.
Honeybee?
I had an incident in my life, a personal incident that happened with me, but I think that subconsciously, a lot of us have already been on our journey spiritually and just not really knowing it or not paying attention to it. When I was younger, I used to see things and hear things and maybe think I was dreaming or thought I was crazy for a hot second. And then when I went through what I was going through in my personal life, I started meditating more. I actually started meditating. I won't say more because I wasn't always consciously meditating. And it was, a part of it was meditation, crystals, and losing my father. All those things in a whole brought me to a deeper understanding of my spirituality and why I needed to start the journey that I'm on.
Okay. All right. So
What about you?
What about
started
you, though,
Yeah,
honey?
exactly.
How did you
this
start?
show ain't about
She thought
me.
she was gonna speed past that, didn't
Start
she?
your spiritual journey.
Okay, so we're gonna get deep here, you guys. Oh, dang, y'all could have told it's real big. It's giving very big.
But she's still beautiful.
I
don't
think
know what she talking
what
about.
started my spiritual journey was chaos. I'm normally a person who likes to be in control, and when things go out of control, I tend to panic and self-sabotage and self-destruct, you know. And I hit a point where I was there, and the only out that I could see was not being here anymore.
Yeah.
That was the only out, you know.
that's deep.
Thankfully, my husband walked on me trying to end my existence, and I really had to sit with myself because I really wasn't sitting with myself. I'm just like, this is how I am, and that's how it is, and I'm a product of this trauma, and I'm gonna carry it like a badge. I'm gonna carry it like a trophy instead of saying like, this is how I am, but I could love this part of myself, and I could be okay with it because from that trauma, I can heal and I can help, you know.
Yeah.
And that was, I saw this post that said, if you were to have committed suicide, how long would you have been dead? And when I looked at that, I was like, dang, I would have been gone for like 4 years. So that was 4 years ago.
Yeah,
That was 4 years ago. And nobody knew because they said, oh, you carry it with a smile or whatever. Yeah, but
And
that
those be the
internal
ones.
pain,
That's dangerous.
that's deep. It's deep. That's why I'm always in my kids' face, like, what you going through, what you thinking, what you going through, what you thinking. You know what I'm saying? So we got Ari. she thought she got away with it too, y'all. Ari.
I'm on my Gemini shit. This is something that I'm fairly new to. So I try not to talk what I don't know.
Okay.
What started it for me is me just realizing I didn't know my feelings like I thought I did, if that makes sense. Like it was I felt a lot of animosity towards people out of nowhere, stuff that I thought I suppressed or got through. Like something recently within my last, I would say 5 years or so, start coming to the surface. And again, on my Gemini shit, I have to figure out the why. Why am I feeling this way? Why is it coming up now? Why is this my response to it? So I started with, like he said, with the crystals and wanting to align myself and get to the root of what chakra aligns with what crystals help with what, and just being in tune with myself so I can get to the root of why I function the way I do and to get better. And I'm still on that journey. It's still an everyday process. It's days I wake up and feel the weight of the world.
Yeah, it don't stop though. That's the thing about spirituality and learning yourself and going within. It's nobody, I don't care what nobody say, how long they've been on their spiritual journey. Nobody can look at me and say, or just up and be like, oh yeah, I've conquered it.
I'm done.
I'm good. No, bro, we go to school every day. We work every day. It don't stop. It doesn't matter how far, what peak you've reached.
24-hour student, baby.
Yeah, and it's like a, I don't want to say a radar chart. What's the thing that they use for stocks and bonds? Like, you watch it go up and down. Yeah,
you're talking about the ticker.
Yeah, you watch it go literally tick, 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 boom, tick, 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 boom, tick, tick. That's life.
Yeah, up and down too.
Yeah, and spirituality. And I said it on the first show, and I'll say it on this show. That meme with the girl from Set It Off. Remember when she was crying and she was like, I need that money.
Oh, yeah.
Her. It's a meme. It's a meme of her with that face, but it says, this is spirituality. It's not all love and light.
It's not.
You be waking up some days straight ugly crying, snot down your nose.
What's wrong? I don't know.
Stuff. Yes. That's just how it is.
Okay, so can y'all explain what the difference between religion and spirituality is?
Yes.
Am I coming with good questions?
That's a loaded question, though.
Is it loaded?
Yeah, because religion involves spirituality.
Yeah,
it's just that in religion, for the most part, when you talk about organized religion at a church, they usually tend to use spirituality to control the sheep. So what they'll do stuff like give them wine and communion and give them a cracker,
as we drink,
and that's actually
Mine
a
was
spiritual
grape
practice.
Juice,
well, grape juice, wine.
I feel misled.
Whatever the
what
case
church
was.
you go to?
Yeah, I ain't been to church in so long. Church is in the soul. Church is in my body at this point. But yeah, so they would use things like, when you look at spirituality and you say, oh, I'm gonna drink somebody's blood, or I'm gonna drink or eat somebody's flesh. These are the things that they having you do in the church. That's so the thing is, they using spirituality to control the people that go to the church. Whereas when you a spiritual person in your own right, you using your power, your God-given power to do what you need, as opposed to letting somebody in the church control you.
Yeah.
So that's really what it's about. They teach you the same things in church that they teach that you will learn on your own. They teach you how to affirm certain things, but they also in religion, one thing about religion that separates it from spirituality. In spirituality, I say in religion, it's kind of like you want to become best friends with God, but in spirituality, you're trying to become God. So that's the difference for me.
I like how you said that.
I always like how he's put things into perspective, and then you get like another perspective from what you think, or however many thoughts or perspectives you got in your own head. Because when first time I heard him say that, I was like, dang. That is, like, for me in my mind, that is the goal.
It opens the door.
Yeah, because it's like, shoot, I'm trying to help. I want to help as many people as I can in the process of helping myself and learning. And that's why I always tell people. I want to
learn and share what I learned.
Yeah, and that's why I always tell people in my group, like, man, I can't, this is not,
I'm your leader type thing,
Like, I'm making these posts so I can teach y'all. Like, I had a girl, and I'm live in my group right now, but I had a girl say, hey, I'm looking for the affirmations for the week. You missed these amount of days, and I made a post like, hey, look,
you accountable.
Look. Yeah, you holding me accountable, but at the same time, I'm not the only person with these affirmations. Yeah. You have to be able to pull these for yourself and affirm it for yourself.
It's inside of you.
Yes. And so I want to teach them
I'm just
not
leading the
to
way.
Just follow me, but be your own leader. So today I made a money affirmation, and I asked them, this is the challenge today. I need help manifesting money. So who's going to affirm money with me today? I want to see what affirmations you guys can pull up and pull out or give me. So it's a give and take relationship.
I'm gonna pour and you gonna pour,
and
then
we'll
never
full.
full. Exactly.
We gotta stay full. We can't get neither one of us can get empty.
Right.
Because then one of us is always gonna be pouring more into each other and emptying our cup. And for one, this is a lesson that I learned. I learned it from him, and I learned it on my own. I'm not emptying my cup for nobody ever again.
Because will they do the same for you?
Exactly. That's the question to pose here. Like, are you willing to empty your cup for me?
Because there are pourers, and there are energy vampires that'll just suck
your business
and take, and they don't even know that they're. Some of them don't even know that they're doing it. I feel like that's the worst kind.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you do this to me. No, I don't do that. What are you talking about? Oh, no. It's you. But anyway, you said you're live in your, because I was finna get mad. You said you're live in your group. Can you tell our fans about your group, how long it's been going on? What's it called?
We're both a part of this lovely group, by the way.
It's called Magical and Elevated. It has emojis, so you have to just literally
Sun, solar star,
it's like stardust, magical, and elevated, and earth sign. So I don't want to call it a spiritual safe haven, but it's a place where spiritual people can come, be themselves, teach us, we teach them, learn information about something you may have seen in your dreams or your past. I mean, it's an open space. It's an open space for you to be spiritual and share, learn, and teach.
All right, Q, what do you have going on? You got a page? Can somebody reach out to you? Like how do you use your spiritual gifts?
Well, right now we've been constructing a team so that we can go around doing really how I want to do it. I want to be able to pull up to your house and do a therapy for you. But right now we're working on doing our therapy sessions at the church, and there's a lot of different things. We have a brand called Godesso, GODDESSO. So it's a body and soul, mind, body, and soul branding. Basically, what we do everything from make teas to sound baths to sea moss, any type of therapy you could think of on an esoteric level, spiritually. Now, we're not, doing things like massages and nothing like that because we're not, versed in that type of thing. But anything that we're versed in, it's a spiritual thing that we know can help. Because we everything that we've ever done, we've done it on ourselves first. So we're never one to practice anything on somebody else that we don't understand the ramifications of.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, that's basically what we're doing right now. We're just trying to reach out, man. Really just about to start a nonprofit and start monetizing some of these great things we're doing. But before the money, it's the help. And we need the help. We have to give the help and receive the help. And it's a pool of help that we need to start cycling to each other as a community. So we're really just trying to bring the community together so that people can pool each other's resources. Because most of the time what we do is we pull that crab in the barrel type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of dudes that they won't teach you how to eat with them. And they won't teach you how to eat for yourself, but they'll hand you some of their food. But then once they see you start getting a plate big as theirs, they don't want to hand you any food anymore.
Right.
So we all about, giving back and forth, recycling. You know what I'm saying? It's just a siphon of energy back and forth to each other. Good vibes.
Yeah. Right.
High vibration.
So
we also looking to create some type of spiritual community here in Detroit. Like our group has like 1,000 people in it now. I kind of downsized because we had some inactivity.
Thousands.
But we're trying to make it so that we can link up with people like how we're here on this podcast. We can link up and do spiritual meetings, and like he said, aside from clients calling or texting and saying, hey, we need this or we need a chakra reading or whatever, like it could be a tribe of us or a group of us here home based, where all of us can get together, share our gifts, understand each other's gifts, go into meditation together.
It's kind of like community healing.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly like that.
So
we can
I'm like,
take trips to go do, ayahuasca or whatever, all those type of things, and just have that spiritual family and balance and connection, because it's important. And the Facebook community is not always what you need. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need some tangibility. Like, bro, we need a kumbaya hug.
Yeah, you
right
need a
now.
hug. You know, you can't do that across
You need
Facebook.
somebody that you can go and kick it with because you stressed out or whatever the case may
Feel
be.
that hug in
yeah,
person.
you
Yeah.
need
Not
that
just
energy
virtually.
around you and not
Absolutely.
just virtual. Exactly. Yeah.
So being
We do this all the time.
so being the spiritual beings that you are, people tend to think when you're spiritual or religious, you don't have everyday struggles like most people. What are some of your everyday struggles that you guys are still going with, even though you see a higher power?
Wait,
you know how you're
hold
supposed to
on.
behave and act and do things.
Because I don't want to get too far. So hold that question. Hold it, please. I love you so much.
Okay.
Hold the question.
I'm gonna put it over here.
Hold the question. What I wanted to ask is, you said you want to make it so that you can go to people's houses. Are you not worried about that energy in that person's house when you go
Well,
there?
see, when you protect yourself the right kind of way,
Uh-huh.
you can walk through any kind of storm. You know,
Okay.
your circle is. Most people look at their circle of protection as a circle on the ground, right? But it's usually about your auric field, about this high out, about as far out, and it's about this high, right? So it's literally a sphere. So if you think of yourself as being protected inside of a bubble, and you affirm that, hell, you could walk through fire.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You just got to believe it and know it.
Okay.
You got to believe it to achieve it. You can't just go
was-
into something with
I've
a
been watching a
blind
lot
faith.
of paranormal stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, let me just ask this
No,
question.
no,
real
no.
quick.
That's a
No,
great
that's a
question
great
because I
question.
thought about that. You know what I mean?
And like
But I'm empathic, so you know
So
I
am I.
deal with if I'm sitting next to a person, I can feel their energy, and then I might walk off with it. And that's just a practice that I've had to deal with,
Yeah.
like washing it off me when I'm around people who give me bad energy.
Answer
gift
the
and a
question
curse.
that I just asked.
Okay, all right. Well, we reverted back.
It's
Okay.
funny that Sean asked that question because I just was telling him this rising. Like, man, I want to bring up how people who do readings or do spiritual work at other people's houses or in other spaces or wherever.
It could be on the
Even
phone.
if you're doing a virtual
Y'all can still
spiritual
feel
healing, it is very, very important to close out just in general. Cleanse, close out, make sure that nothing is lingering from that person on you, because it happens. I've done readings and I've felt people heartbreaking while I'm telling them something, or it is that
Have y'all ever
serious.
gave a reading to somebody you was just like, ooh, this motherfucker got some dark ass energy. Like, they might be a bad person.
I've never had that happen.
No,
But
I wouldn't even know how to, like,
I've never had
deal
that
with that
happen.
shit.
But
I've
I've had some instances where I didn't know to cleanse myself afterwards, and then I was just heavy.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
heavy. I went into a
Yeah.
metaphysical shop. Like, how do I turn this off? I don't want to be this way no more. I'm feeling all of these things. And she was like, oh, you just got to I think I told you this, like, you just got to learn what's yours and what's not yours. And you got to learn how to cleanse yourself. So she gave me a fan.
Yeah,
She gave me a
always
fan.
have to have protection. You always place spiritual protection over yourself, over your things, before, after, even your phone. I cleanse my phone because I do most of my readings like that through the
Yeah.
phone. So it's like,
How do you cleanse a phone, though?
I sage it.
Okay.
I put some Florida water on my rag. I wipe my phone off. I'll use my Apollo stick. I'll speak affirmations to my phone the same way you do your crystals or
Yeah.
whatever else it is. And then you make sure you place protection. Whatever type of protection it is that you want to place, however you know how to do it. It's based off your intentions and what you believe and what you need to happen for you.
Okay.
Right.
And a lot of
That's
people think
dope.
spirituality is like a right and a wrong, or
Yeah, they do.
some things are step by step, follow this, do this that way, get this, get that. Some things are purely based off your intention.
I was just about to say, I
Yes,
think it's
'cause
based
somebody's
off of how
like-
you go into it.
When
what
I
your
do like
intent.
my moon ritual, somebody or one of my friends, not somebody, but called me like, "How do I do a moon ritual?" And I'm like, "Many ways. I don't get what you're asking me. What are you saying? Like, how do I do mine?
I think I'd ask you a general ass question like that before too, because I'm just
And
not.
I'm like, what do you mean?
I don't know. What do you mean?
I just do what feels right for me and to my spirit. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I do things subconsciously that I don't even know that I'm doing. Like I'll draw a spiritual bath and then be like, oh, it is a full moon. I didn't even know. But my spirit knew. You know what I'm saying?
Or
So
that be your guides or your ancestors coming through you. Like, hey, you know it's time to do this. Boom.
Right.
And it's happening. I found myself doing that. I found myself sitting up writing with my eyes closed. Like, dang, I was just meditating. I had my book here ready for when I got out of meditation.
Got ready for it,
And it's like, nope, you ready now, just right. And I don't understand it all the time, but if I sit with it, I read it over and over again, I meditate with it, it come to me.
So Q, do you meditate as well?
I do.
Okay, so how long did it take you to get to a state where you could meditate? Because I have a whole bunch of people asking me that question. They're like, I can't clear my mind of everything. I can't be, out of my body, or I can't just listen to my breathing. And for me, I can only do it in a bath. If I'm like on the bed, or it's something about water. Yeah, it's something about the water that just calms me, and I can just be still. You know what I'm saying? But I can't do it out of water. So when people ask me like, well, how do you actually meditate? I'd be like, I run a bath. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm always me. I'm always goofy. I'm always silly. I'm always me. So I'm like, girl, how do I read? Go to YouTube, girl. Listen to the guided meditation where the dude be like, now feel the breath going from your feet up into your knees. Wake up like,
It's a bunch
oh
of
shit, I ain't learned nothing. Like,
One thing about meditating though, you do have to try your best to not fall asleep. So that's a lot of people's problem.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't stay still. So, what I recommend, because I read a book, I'll tell you the name of it later, but it basically teaches you how to meditate. And at the same time, once you get further along in the book, it teaches you how to use the law of attraction. So every week there's an exercise. Well, there's 24 chapters in the book, and you're supposed to read every chapter. You want each chapter for 1 week, and then and also do the exercise for that week. And if you can't master the exercise, you don't move on till you can master the exercise. So one of the exercises, the very first ones I can remember in the book, was just find somewhere to sit down and sit still. Sit still for as long as you can. You don't got to close your eyes. Just sit still. You can blink all you want to, but do that every day. Find your comfortable place and sit down and just stay still.
and just ground.
Yep. And then eventually, once you get to the point where, oh, damn, I just sat still for 20 minutes straight. Now you're ready to close your eyes and do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So even if you laying down, you're prone to fall asleep. So you want to, if you don't know how to meditate, you're going to fall asleep if you lay down. So your best bet, if you don't know how to meditate, is to sit up so that you can catch yourself if you're about to fall asleep. But yeah, me now, I meditate in a dead man's pose, just laying flat on your back. And it's most effective for me. But it's just a lot of different ways you can meditate. I mean, you can, because a lot of people think of meditating as closing your eyes and clearing your mind. But
that yoga pose, like,
and what I learned is you don't want your mind to close at all. I mean, you don't want to shut off the reception that you're having. What you eventually will do is those thoughts will just go away. So you really want to gear yourself toward clearing your mind out once you get to a point of meditating where you can manifest things with your meditation. You know what I mean? But for the most part, when you pray, you talk to God. And when you meditate, God talks to you. So you just want to sit there and just hear everything God got to say for you. That's about it. And if you're having all of these visions and all these thoughts, they'll go away. But what it does is it gives you an idea of the things that you think about. It brings to the forefront all of the things you think about. So it basically gives you a roadmap of how you think. And then eventually you tell yourself, damn, I keep thinking about that every time I close my eyes and meditate. I need to work on that. So now you're going to take what you learned in meditation and try to eliminate or add something to it in your outer world. So when you go back in, you don't got to deal with it. And that's a part of shadow work.
Okay, so what about masturbation?
class, ladies and gentlemen.
Masturbation. What you say?
I said he needs a class, ladies. and
Right, he
gentlemen.
does.
We got
What
master
about-
classes
We
coming
do.
though.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
coming.
So what about like
uh?
masturbating and meditation or
Manifestation.
At the same time?
Yes,
Girl,
I'm all
we
over
need
the
to get
place.
that together.
I'm all over the place.
She wants to know about masturbation manifestation.
That's a mouthful, but I know.
It is.
Trying
What you trying to come for me?
And I'm not even gonna touch on that because I touched on that last time.
But they
And
don't know, and that's why I brought it up.
I don't do it anymore. I used to.
Okay, so that's why we was kind of jogging you that because that episode was fire, y'all. We mad we lost it.
It was.
Yeah.
I can't, and that's all I was trying to tell. I'm like, I don't even remember what we talked about on there.
Oh,
Everything
okay.
we was
So
gone.
So
what-
we'll skip that
live.
question. If I could look into your or on your nightstand, what book would I find right now?
I have Starseed, Everyday Magic, and I have a book called Morning Manifestations.
Well, I did just clear off mine and put all my books on the back on the bookshelf.
Okay.
But I mean, right now I'm reading Pimp by Iceberg Slim.
Which is a good book.
I heard it was. That's why I'm like, I heard that.
I'm
was a
reading
good
The
read.
Alchemist. I can't remember
was
how
a
to
good
pronounce
book.
his last name, so I'm gonna be respectful. It's about two. I'm bad at finishing books.
I am
Like reading
too.
one book at a time, so I tend to read like 5 or 6 books at a time.
That's how I am.
So,
That's how I am with
Breathing
books, but that's
through them.
also how I am with shows. I'd be like, okay, I'll come
I'm
back.
the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like
You
that
know.
with shows, but with books, I'll be stuck to a book like this and not put that boy down until I'm done. I'm
And a
reader
good book
and a
to
writer.
read. A good book to read. Not to cut you off,
you
but
good.
he put me up on a book called The Four Agreements. I done read it twice already.
Okay.
And I'm like, I constantly reread it and go over it. I'll go back and read.
So I'm speaking to you in that book, child.
It's because it's
That book changed my life.
It's a working book, and it does change your life. Like literally, since he's let me read his, I bought my own, and I
Read it
read
again.
it, and I be talking to people, and I'm like, oh, excuse me, and then I'll be like, oh, be impeccable with your word, be impeccable with your word. Like that's one of the 4 agreements, and that's a hard. The 4 agreements, those things to place them in your life and actually do them are not a cakewalk. But if you're reading it or if you get the book, just be prepared to place those things in action because it makes you want to do that. Literally, like, gratitude for giving me that book again because, like he said, it changed
4
his
agreements
life.
and gratitude.
It is changing my life. Like,
And so the 4
serious.
agreements are be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personal. Don't
I gotta learn that
assume.
one. I'm learning that.
And
What was the third one?
Do your best.
always do your best.
Okay. What,
Be impeccable with your word. Don't assume.
Always do your best and
Don't take anything
take
personal.
Don't take
personal.
anything personal.
okay.
Now that's the hardest one for most
everybody's
people.
hardest
I was-
one.
That's my.
That's really
I'm
not my hardest one.
It's literally mine.
So
Here you go.
it's kind of easy for you. It's easy.
Well, that's a blessing because taking things personal is what most people grow up doing from birth to death.
Yeah, it's like we're just.
Yeah.
Like,
You
it's
know,
still- I thought it was.
I
mean,
feel like
you
from
went
my
to this very-
childhood, I seen my parents and my grandparents as holy beings. So I learned to excuse a lot of the things that they did. Like I just felt like I had a adult mentality from a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they human, they can't help it. Just like I did this
I was
and I
always like
couldn't
a
help
logical.
it. You know what I'm saying?
As a child.
So
Ooh, maybe I just was spoiled.
you was just a Cancer.
And I think logically, but it's
Don't
like
do
my
me
spirit
like
do something anyway. So how do you even adjust that? Like in my head, I'd be like, no, you taking stuff personal, but then my heart be like, nope, it's personal, bitch.
Girl, I say it out loud.
I swear, I be like,
say
I'm literally
and
two
this
different
is the
people.
thing. I say it I do it with my friends, my family, everybody, with him, with everybody. I'm like, oh, I just took that personal. I'm sorry, but I'm taking it personal, and
can't
this is how I
help
feel.
it.
But then after you do that, assess yourself. Because
I
it
try
ain't the
to.
What
person.
triggered me?
Yeah,
to
it's
get
not
to-
the
yeah.
person, it's you. And the thing is, like he said once before, stop taking how I'm saying something to you, because it ain't the how, it's the what.
What I said.
Listen to the words and take the feeling out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important, because you miss the message when you get all up in your feelings. You can't think logical. I learned another lesson from him. You can't think logical if you emotional.
Yeah.
Nope.
You can't. And I'm a super emotional person.
Me
so
too.
now I'm literally, I write it down and I try to learn how to balance my emotions with being logical.
See, and I'm like the total opposite. Like, I'm so non-emotional. I'd be like, bitch, feel. Feel. Like, okay, get that dusty box out. Blow it off. You know what I'm saying? And feel. Because I'll just be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Fuck it. And it is what it is. Okay.
But y'all have
Blessings to
y'all
you.
just go through it by yourself.
No beef. And then they be like, damn, you just cold-hearted. I be like, wait a minute now. Wait, I'm not cold-hearted.
I think that in y'all head, that's y'all not being cold-hearted, because like you be like, I could have been a bitch, but I just let you have it.
That is my thing. I be like, man, I could have tore into that motherfucker so hard, but I was just like, okay,
The fact
bye.
that I let you have it is my emotions
bye.
in y'all head.
All right, bye. Okay, bye. Like, we're done.
So what
here.
would you guys recommend, the three of you? Because I'm the least. I'm learning. I love this episode.
I'm here as a student today.
I mean, yeah,
We're all
no,
students
not
and
in,
teachers.
We all students.
we all are. But what would you recommend for somebody starting off with a journey in this, like trying to find where they lie spiritually? Do you think it's best to start with crystals, saging,
Start with
looking
self.
into things and figuring
Start
out
with you.
where you need to start? Yeah.
What she said.
Whatever
like,
interests you, start there. Because whatever interests you is kind of calling you. That's my thing.
A
Just
lady
how
literally
you
told me.
said about intentions, that's kind of like what it is in my eyes. Starting with self, looking into you. If that means you got to take some mushrooms to do it, then do so.
That's a good
Can
way
we
to do it.
trip one day? I
I
would
heard
love
that
to do that.
Because I want to let him give his answer, and then we gonna tap into the mushroom side of spirituality and those type of things.
Okay.
So yeah, I say going within. For me, it was meditation, going within, and writing. A lot of times people don't know how to let their feelings out. Writing is a good way to do it, or going in the middle of the wherever and screaming and letting it out that way. So that's my recommendation for beginners.
I would say for a beginner, the best thing to do, like y'all said, go within. But that entails writing out your feelings, like she said. Also writing out the bad qualities that you have versus the good qualities that you have.
So like shadow work.
Yep, shadow work. You want to know. You want to know what things. Like you want to write out the things that people say about you that you don't even feel like it's true.
Yep.
And then you want to actually assess if those things are true. Do you do those things? Because only when you write them do you really pay attention to them. You know what I'm saying? When you, especially if you look at it again and again, you're like, man, people be saying I be doing this shit. I don't think I be doing it. But you walk around and you pay attention to yourself, then you might notice that. You know what I mean? So all the things that you know you do wrong that you don't want to do, you want to write those down. And then you want to figure out how to eliminate that part of your personality. But at the same time, you're not actually eliminating that part of your personality. You're actually just tucking it away. You know what I mean? Because your shadow is always there.
Tucking it away.
So if you're the type of person that can pop off, yeah, you want to hold that dog on a leash. You don't want that dog to not be on a leash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it's really about, taming your demons, not getting rid of them.
Yeah.
So you start with taming your
Controlling
demons
them.
and not being scared of the dark. That's the journey. You know what I mean? And from there, you release all of this, the fear of the light. You know what I mean? Because everything that we see is what we should be scared of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You ain't scared of nothing that you can't see.
Right.
You know what I mean? But most people scared to go in the dark because of what they'll find.
And that's what you call duality.
Yep.
Bing bong.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you said we were gonna talk. Is there? I can open the floor if y'all wanna.
Yeah, if y'all want to go with y'all flow.
Before I get onto this shroom thing, because y'all see how happy I got. I was like, oh, shroom. They're probably like, damn, she be, not all the time, just a couple of times. But I had some very good, deep experiences there.
I heard they
Ooh,
give
me
you,
too.
like, I want to.
So
I wanna
I got a
Say
homeboy
one
that
last
swear
thing.
by these bitches.
I swear by him, and I'm not finna hold you up. But the one thing I definitely want to say is also, I guess this could tap in with being a beginner. Also, is learning how to release things that don't serve you any purpose.
Ooh,
The full moon just passed, and for 3 days, I literally released in any form I could think of. Crying, writing, breaking things.
sounds beautiful.
Walking outside and trying to ground myself in this cold weather, like just everything that I needed to do to release all the energy, all the spirits, all the words, all the feelings, everything that doesn't
that you
serve me
absorbed.
to move forward, and anything that I've absorbed from the previous weeks or months.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important that people release. And it's not just during the full moon. You can release anytime, but that's when you bust down with the super release and your rituals and all those things during the full moon. So if anybody is listening and you don't know when, or you're wondering when or why you should, that's why. Release so you can feel better and get back in alignment with yourself.
I always be the one pouring before anybody else.
Now,
Go ahead.
mushrooms. Who want to start? Because listen, me and him both, like, he's the one that introduced me for real to mushrooms and taught me about this. But the psychedelics and spirituality, when I say
They go hand in hand.
they will rock your dang on hood, they go hand in hand. And it's some of the best spiritual work that I've ever done.
So,
Okay.
I have never done spiritual work off of shrooms, but I've had spiritual moments to where I
Then
felt
you was doing spiritual
so
work.
yeah, with myself, not on other people. That's what I meant. But first of all, I was scared as fuck. I'm like, what if I have a bad trip? Do you got to take me to the hospital? Then I'm gonna have to explain to my family members why I'm up in here. You know what I'm saying? But after I was a coward, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it.
Right.
But I was in the identity crisis because she's like, what?
Yeah.
Because there were so many things that I was attracted to, so many things that I had interest in, and I didn't know where it came from, why I was so into certain things, like why am I attracted to this? You know what I'm saying? And I had this longing to know where my people came from, not just mom, dad, great grandma. No, where did my ancestors come from? You know what I'm saying? Where, who am I? Well, I know I believe in reincarnation. I want to know what some of my past lives was, because I had a spiritual friend that was telling me, like, you so into Egyptian things and blah 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 blah. You might have an Egyptian past, and
I swear.
I've had dreams about being in Egypt. I had dreams about walking in temples. Oh, you need to take some shrooms. Maybe you will figure it out. He like, maybe you derive from Isis. Blah 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 blah. So I always felt like, why he always think I'm something good? I don't feel like I was somebody good. I felt
Why
like
you say that?
I feel like I was somebody bad. I felt like I did something bad.
I believe you stay back. Like, that don't.
And no, I felt like I did something bad. And part of shadow work is realizing that you not always good. You know what I'm saying?
And you weren't always this good person.
Right.
Really?
So I took the shrooms. Y'all trippy. First of all,
I remember when you told me this, because we shared the same experience.
Yeah, I was on the floor.
Ooh,
I don't know why I was on the floor. That's just where I felt comfortable at. And I just started crying. It felt like something magnetic just pulled me to the floor. And I started crying. And I didn't know why. Like, my friend was like, oh my God, what do I do? She's not having a good. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, the tear's not mine. The tear's not mine. I'm good. Just leave me here. Leave me here.
Those words, too.
Yep. Coming to find out, somebody downstairs had a miscarriage. So it was that. Then I was laying on the patio, and it was like out looking water and stuff like that. And I saw Egypt, but I saw things burning. I saw things burning, I saw me standing on bodies. And I was like, oh shit, like what the fuck? Again, just leave me here. I'm trying to figure it out.
Were your eyes closed or open when you saw
Open.
that? Yeah.
I never
that
once
mean?
closed my eyes.
So this whole
That's
trip,
what I'm like, what
your
does that
eyes
mean?
was
was
open.
closed.
Never.
Now, this was your first trip?
This was my well, the first one with me on the floor was my first one. My first trip. The second one was me seeing the past life.
So you never tripped with your eyes closed? Mm-mm. Oh man.
I remember the second trip after I had that whole vision. I remember going back into the living room, and my friend had turned the lights off. But when he turned the lights off, it felt like, you know how you could feel like a surprise party. You could feel everybody in the room. It felt like the living room was packed with so many people to the point where I was like, flip. Oh. No one was there. But when we got to talking about it and I got to telling my friends, I was like, y'all keep telling me that I remind y'all ISIS. I'm loving, I'm light. I'm like, no, that's not it. So I got to doing my research, and the visions that I saw really correlated with that's it. Mm-hmm. I'm a cat lady. I love cats. Don't you? I love cats.
That's
I love
crazy.
cats, which is my symbol. And he, no. They like, no. My girl Tracy like, no. You know, no. You like wings too, bitch. I like to eat chicken wings. What? I know what I saw. Wings, you know what I'm saying? And then I researched and went deep into myself to figure out what connected. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't always loving light, and sometimes you have to sit down and look at yourself like, shit, I was the bad guy. I was the bad guy.
Yeah. I just always felt like if you was like a bad guy in the past, like you was just gonna always be that. So it's like no. I'm just floored right now. Like, damn, you could.
Like, number one,
maybe I was evil.
You never know how many past lives you had.
Yeah.
So
that was
first.
You
gotta figure out what life path number are you on right now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How many lives have you had in the past?
I'm like, what are you pulling out? I got excited.
I got a.
We got excited
like that, and the crystal should have pulled out. we like, it's funny. He pulled his out, and I was finna pull mine out my shirt. Like, dang, I feel like I need to pull them out.
Yes, you do.
Heavy, but
I wanted somebody to buy me like a chakra necklace for my birthday, but then it might have been you. You was like, no, or it might have been you or my aunt that was like, no, you should go. Buy you one. You shouldn't let nobody buy. Yeah,
that's one thing. Pick your own crystals. Feel for the energy that you resonate with, and always use your right hand because that's your receiving hand.
I learned something.
Left hand, you mean?
Yeah.
Left.
Whichever hand you write with is your dominant hand. So your receiving hand is. Yep.
Okay.
My dominant hand is my right hand. So my receiving hand is my left hand. I can't even pinpoint like each mushroom trip, but my very first one was, I don't even want to talk about that. That was a good one.
She like,
I don't want to, because it's like,
you want to save it for you?
Every one that I've had are phenomenal. So it's like, even with the things that I saw that didn't make me feel good or proud or anything like that, it still was like, yes, Lord, like, I'm so happy I did this today.
Yeah.
But one time particularly, I think I started the trip. I was on the ground, eyes closed. My eyes were closed for hours. I did not open my eyes for a while until I was told to open them. And then when I opened them, it was like gold everywhere. Like everything was sparkling gold. And it's some stuff I won't hit on when I went in because it's personally for me. But I learned a lot of stuff about myself first. And then I learned about one of my past lives that had something to do with Egypt. And I went back in and closed my eyes after I opened them.
Y'all know each other.
And
could be.
I woke up. I say woke
that's
up
why y'all
because my eyes was closed. But I opened my eyes and I felt, I promise you, before I opened my eyes, I was doing my toes like this. Because I felt sand in my toes. Like, no, bro, I'm not dreaming. The sand was in my feet. And so, at this point, it was an unk there with, like, Egyptian writing on it. And I looked at it, and I could read what it said in English, though. It was like, I don't know what they say, but
I know what it says.
I know what it says.
Yeah, I'm like,
and then I passed out. And it was like, that was like one of my favorite and best trips, because after that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, because they all kind of happened in a close time frame. I believe I went outside. We went outside, and going outside on shrooms.
Oh my gosh!
When I say
it's the earth.
I literally kept stopping myself because I could look out the window and see how bright it was, and I was like, oh my goodness! And when I finally got out there, I was like, this is what outside look like. Like, why somebody ain't? What have I been doing?
Right.
Like,
I felt like the
couldn't
trees
stop
were
looking.
dancing.
Girl,
like they
everything
were
was
dancing.
Yeah, you
and
just see the vibrations of everything.
swaying and
So you see the
moving.
trees
I wanted to get
vibrating.
naked and run through the woods.
Yeah,
I ain't even gonna lie with
Just
you.
know I was under my robe. And
sad I
it was
didn't get
just
to
like,
experience that.
It was so great. I felt the earth. I felt
feeling it
all
through
of
her
that
right now.
vibration just go all through every piece of my body. We sat by a tree, and it was like
the earth
everything
is
that
beautiful.
we did was something that you normally wouldn't do. And so after that experience, the next day, I realized, damn, I really was blind. Like, I never stopped to smell the roses. I was looking at everything on my way home.
but not like this.
Man, it was just like, what's that little gospel song where they be like, now my eyes are open? Like,
No, for real.
man. And you talking about going down through there. Like, I was crying for hours.
I'm scared, but a good scare now.
Look, I was going to Chicago the next day, girl, cried half my lashes off. I was like,
I just felt the
don't even
need
care.
to
It
hug
was
every
worth
tree.
it.
No,
But
for
yeah,
real,
so
like-
that's one of my best mushrooms experiences. What about you, Q?
I mean, that's a loaded question. Every experience that I have is a good one for me, So I can't really pinpoint anything, and I've been at this for a while, so that's like me trying to tell you about the first time I smoked a joint or something. Can't really even go there with you. But I know as
It's a lot.
I just recently started practicing with my eyes closed, and so that's
what's
when
the
you learn the
difference?
most. You know what I mean? So that's the best bet. I mean, it is fun to see the things that we see out here, but inside, that's where you do the real learning at. You know what I mean? Because everything that you learn in there, you can bring back out here, as opposed to seeing something out here that you're confused about and having all these range of emotions that you don't understand. When you inside, you can understand exactly what's going on because you inside. You know what I mean? You ain't no way of running away from it unless you open your eyes. And then, like you said, you will open your eyes and still see some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's 10 times different when you close your eyes.
Is it
You know
a
what I mean?
meaning behind like your eyes being closed and it being open?
Because
Like,
nobody
that's-
told me. I was
Me
just
either. That's why I'm like, I'm so intrigued.
I was just
I'll let him answer.
Okay.
Because I can only give my
I
opinion.
wouldn't say a meaning that I
It's just a
particularly
difference.
know of. It's just a different experience. You don't meditate. You can meditate with your eyes open if you want it. You can sit
Okay.
and you can breathe.
I get the color.
And you can count your breaths and you can breathe in as deep as you want with your eyes open. But if you do it with your eyes closed, you're gonna experience something different.
Yeah, I get
You know what I mean? Because this is the deception. The light is the deception. All of this shit y'all seeing is really just a perception of what you determine reality to be.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
Like we all think we seeing the same colors, but we're not really seeing the same shade
Yeah.
of the color.
Nope.
You know what
Like
I'm saying?
I'm looking at your shirt and it could be orange, but to somebody else, that boy may be blue.
Right.
Or
You know what I'm
red.
saying?
Yeah.
So, it's
They
that
be
type of stuff,
confused.
man. But you can't confuse what's inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what it all come down to. They're like I say, this shit out here that you're looking at, this is to keep you entertained
For sure.
at the end of the
distracted.
day. Distracted.
Yeah,
at the end
that's
of the
a
day.
better word,
You know what I'm saying? So all the ancients always was talking about meditate and close your eyes,
Yes.
go inside.
No matter
Especially
where
ours.
from.
Yep.
Chinese.
It don't matter where
African, Middle Eastern, no matter where, they all practice that.
Like
And
even closing your eyes can affect the way a conversation goes.
Yes.
If we sat
Talking
here and we
with
had this
your
conversation
eyes
with our eyes
closed.
closed, the conversation would have been different.
Yeah, very
We
different.
should do an episode like we should have y'all
should.
back and do that.
I'm with
We
whatever.
put some blindfolds on, whatever
Yeah.
y'all want to
I'm
do.
with it.
You know what I mean?
I definitely.
Yeah, because I'm a peak. I don't
not.
like the
I'ma
way
do
he
this.
looked when he said that with his
It's your
eyes
problem.
closed.
Yeah, that's her. I'm like, I'm not.
But see, and that is the reason, though. That is the reason people are so hell bent on. Well, why you look like that when you said it? Well, why you shrug your shoulders when you said you don't care? And it's like, bro,
Or like how you
stop
said
work.
it.
Like I
Take
said, take the emotion
all of that out.
And it's like, bro, just close your eyes. That way, you can see how I respond to what you said, and I can see how you responded to what I said.
All I can do is
and
hear
I don't
words.
even care. Now, all you hear is what I'm saying, and all I can hear is what you saying. And it's
Right, and see, I wouldn't even have seen all of this if I was just
Exactly.
like
if
this.
you had to close your
Like-
eyes, you wouldn't have seen me doing all that.
You won't even
But
look
it-
at the wall and be like, oh, damn, and change your mind about what you was going to say because you saw something in the environment.
Yeah.
Or be looking out the
Yes.
window and be like, damn, and shift what we talking about.
Yes. Oh, we
Always go with your first mind.
always go with your first
And
mind.
something I absolutely want to say that he taught me, watch how you talk. Correct your spelling. Especially when you're talking to somebody spiritual. I've noticed a lot of people outside of him saying, like, don't talk to me like that. People have to remember words are spells. And the way you speak to somebody, what you saying to them matters. You got to think about what you say before you say it.
You do.
Because you can say something to somebody and it don't mean shit. Literally. Like, you be like, oh, it feel good outside today. And they just like, you wasted 2 seconds saying that.
Right.
You could have been like something else. You know,
Right.
just like how women don't like when guys be like, oh, what up, shorty? You looking thick in them pants today. And it's like, bro, you couldn't think of nothing.
Why was that
nothing
wrong?
to
That
say
was-
to me.
Oh my
nothing better
God.
to say
And I
to
just
me.
had a conversation like that.
You know, and women too. Women approach men all the time, and I have women walk up to me and like, "Oh, you so sexy with them."
Is that
And it's
your
like,
car?
It's the right. It's the outside for me. It's like, sis, you're wrong.
Right.
So yeah, never forget those things.
Yeah, and even also when she talk about correcting your spelling, you know, you just don't want to speak no bad shit on yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to say nothing like, man, I'm a dickhead. Damn, bro.
Or like, I'm broke.
as fuck.
I was
You
just
don't wanna
about to say that.
I always
say
listen.
I ain't got it right now.
I'm financially strapped at the moment.
You correct me
But see,
every
the
time.
word broke. You know what I mean? You don't look at it like, oh, it's bigger than saying,
That's
damn,
a
you talking
permanent
about,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
This
bigger
girl
than saying
literally
you don't
corrects
have
me
no
every
money.
time.
Yeah.
You're saying you're broken. You're dismantled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, see.
So
And
it's
that-
it's that.
It be his
Etymology of
words. That's
words.
why I'm like, ooh.
It's the etymology of words. Once you
I
learn
always
what
tell my
something
people,
means, you'll know how to
speak
use
power
it better.
Yeah.
over yourself.
Yeah,
Speak
you gotta
power.
speak power.
Speak power.
And I'm learning how
Even
to do
my
that
kids.
too, because
Even my kids.
coming from torn and messed up things or things that happen to you, and you latch on to those things and you do it to yourself. So then you have to unlearn that and
Yeah.
relearn what's right, what's righteous. And it's like,
I really try to push that into my kids. I'm raising a Cancer.
what does that mean?
He's really in tune with his emotions.
Y'all
He's
are.
really in tune with his
Y'all
emotions.
are.
That's what it means.
And that's how
But
you're gonna start getting in tune with yours.
sometimes, maybe. I think I've helped myself a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
You have
but
changed, honey.
yeah, because I used to be on Facebook going. Okay, I used to be on
You even
Facebook
changed
going.
since I met you, like,
and
a little
I don't give
more-
a fuck, and
She's
I don't give a
changed since
damn,
the
and I
first
just really
time
want
the
y'all to know
podcast.
that if y'all
The
forget
podcast.
She's
anything
forever
else,
changing.
that I don't give a fuck, like. No one cares that you don't give a fuck.
She gonna be a different person tomorrow, even.
No one cares.
Nobody.
No one cares that you don't give a fuck. No one cares. But anyway, you know, he's more in tune with his emotions. But he's doing something that most black kids don't do. He's like, yeah, I want to be a swimmer. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's good.
So he joined the swim
And
team.
he's fast.
He joined the swim team. So I'm like, all right. It was all good. So the coach said, hey, we're going to put you in the backstroke. He
What
like,
that mean?
I don't think I want to do this. The
the-
backstroke, girl, the
The style of
backstroke.
swimming.
Oh,
It all
okay.
changed when he couldn't go
Like
forward.
he got a
no
race
more.
like that?
Yeah.
They have butterfly, backstroke, French
Backstroke,
stroke,
see, I don't know all that.
underwater.
Mhm.
So it's
It changed, and then I saw his confidence go. Well, I don't know, and I don't know. No, you do know.
yeah,
You just
You do
yeah.
know. I don't want to hear you don't know. You do know. You're
And he's
very
good at it.
knowledgeable.
practice makes better.
You know
Yeah,
what
when
I'm
you
saying?
feel like you're
But-
too
but
good
my-
at some
my-
shit already, you need to push yourself harder.
Right.
And
But
exactly,
my
like
son
he-
felt like, okay, I'm good at this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, now you put me in something.
Now it's
I
time
ain't
to switch it
good
up.
at.
You good at that
I don't know
one
about
thing.
this.
Yup.
Now all your confidence left the building because he's putting you in unknown places, uncharted places.
And that's where you
but
teach
you
them,
still
like,
gonna
nah.
be good.
Once you learn how to throw that
You know
right
what
hand
I'm
punch,
saying?
now you got to learn how to throw the left hand. That's just how it goes.
Precisely.
That
Precisely.
I said, shoot, just go outside and just in the breeze. When the breeze blow, just backstroke.
Backstroking ain't easy.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Especially when you gotta go in between the rails.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like in a
boat
swim
stuff,
race,
yeah.
you can't go out your lane. Oh, that shit sound hard to the mud.
It's not easy at
Oh,
all.
it's over here. Well, we want to thank you guys for coming with us. Do you have any closing statements or anything to say? Anything you want to leave? Any droplets?
Well, lastly, I'll say, like I said, I'm Q Understanding. You can follow me at Third
That's
Eye
all right.
Dangerous on Instagram. No underscores. And just always remember to follow your first minds, man. Meditate, because your first mind is your God voice or your higher self, you know? And if you meditate, you get more in tune to knowing what that sounds like, you know? And usually it sounds just like your voice, but it'd be the very first one. So if you hear somebody say, hey, go look out the window, go do that shit. You know what I mean? Eat clean, you know, because that's part of the biggest part of your diet. A lot of us out here eating the things that's disrupting our bodies. And I mean, if you want a handbook on how to eat, the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran will tell you how to do it. You know what I mean? And like she said, correct your spelling. Just watch the type of things you say, because everything is a spell. Your words are spells. So you want to get ahead in life, you got to speak things that push you forward. You can't speak things that put you behind. And just get in tune with saying things that make you feel better, like affirmations, you know? So, you know, like me, for one of my affirmations is I heal daily.
Yeah.
I just told somebody, don't say you sick, say you healing.
Yep. Yep. So that's all I got to say about that, you know?
Follow me, lemondrop_honeybee on Instagram. My Facebook group is Magical and Elevating Spiritual World. It has emojis in it. Look for it. It's a good place to be if you're looking for some knowledge. We working on a bunch of other things. Godesso, Hustle Bee clothing line is coming soon.
Okay.
Ooh.
We got master classes coming for the spiritual world. We do therapy sessions, so feel free to inbox or DM either one of us if you're looking for any type of healing sessions. We go from doing chakra readings to
Tarot readings.
We do full-on therapy sessions at the church. If you need a 2 or 3 day type of thing, we do that.
Like we spend the night?
Yeah, mushroom.
Oh,
trip
really?
involved.
Sleepover?
Just,
dope.
I mean, we really trying to heal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever
heal
fits
the
the bill. You
community,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Seriously.
Whatever it is that you need, you know, we try to figure out how to help you, even if you a beginner and you like, man, I want to take a mushroom trip, but I don't want to do it by myself. Right?
Yeah, that
Bing
part.
bong, hit us up. We got you covered, you know, for
Yeah,
for
even
the
if you
right
need a trip
ticket,
sitting,
and
like even if you don't
yeah.
want it to take them with you, you want somebody to be there to monitor you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
it's all different things. Y'all make sure y'all hit us up if y'all interested in anything spiritual or we're the ones that you want to talk to.
Absolutely.
Let us know, because that's what we're here for.
Also, she has a plant group as well.
Oh, I do have a
She
Oh,
does
you
have
do,
a plant
and
group
I'm in
as
that
well
one.
because I've been trying my green thumb out. My babies are still alive. I talk to them though. I'll be like, please stay.
You have to,
you
though.
know.
No, for real.
So it's called Melanated Green Thumb on Facebook. It's dope. It is dope because I think I put something on Facebook like, oh, I want to see what. Because I wanted my plants around my bathroom. And she told me exactly what type of plant to put in my bathroom. So if y'all have any questions like that as well.
Plants and crystals go together.
Yes.
Plants are very pertinent to spirituality also. Make sure you got a plant on your altar.
I also, when I was trying to heal, I also bought a plant and named it myself.
Really?
I bought a plant and I named it myself. I did. And
And you
it
took
died.
care of-
So
That might be a sign.
it was a sign.
part of you
I
that-
took it as a sign.
Yeah.
I took it as a sign because no matter what I
Everything's a sign
did.
if you ask me, so.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Even when you
Thank
lose
you.
a crystal or break a crystal,
Yep.
it's either you done with that part or it no longer serves you, so you can gift it to somebody, you can give it back to the universe, or you can throw it away. I mean,
Right. Don't throw it.
I I personally wouldn't throw it away, but you know, hey, if spirit tell you to throw it away, throw it away.
Sometimes
That's
spirit
all I
will
can
test you
say.
like that just to see where you gonna go with it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and I mean that's real because I had a test like that, and when I say I was, I can't. You mean I gotta throw it away? Yeah, so keep your eyes open for things like that, cause your ancestors, your spirit guides, and the universe or spirit or whatever you want to call it will send you messages, and you need to pay attention. Keep your eyes open, keep your ear to the street. Your third eye needs to be popping so you can get the message. Don't miss the message, man. Get the information, don't miss the message.
You put that on the shirt.
And share your wisdom when you get it, because this ain't just for you. Everybody needs spiritual healing. Everybody needs to be, you know, on that love accord.
Yeah.
Ashe.
Ashe.
All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to this very special spiritual special.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I had to say special more than once.
Because it was so special.
Okay.
Okay, because y'all have Honeybee and Q Understanding on Honeybee Podcast.
Okay. Period. Well, I'm your girl, Honey Foreign. You can follow me on Instagram at honey_foreign.
I'm your girl, REV. You can follow me on Instagram _REV, and that's Ari with 2 eyes, hoes. Never forget it.
All right. We out.
Peace. That's how you people.